Good, Tim? Okay. Watch live, so go ahead, guys.
All right.
Jennifer, congratulations on a really impressive win. Is that how you expected the fight to go?
Thank you. I didn't know that it was going to end that early. I, was hoping to do a little bit more striking and then, maybe work on all the things that we have been working on in this camp, because I've had a really good fight camp. So, I wanted to show all of that, but anything can happen in a fight, and so the opportunity presented itself. So I took it. Yeah.
Would you say that going to the Olympics, in a sense, it's a big occasion, there's a lot at stake, you're representing your country, kind of prepares you for these kind of occasions?
Yes, I mean the Olympics, that was the the biggest and the largest stage that I've ever performed at, so it definitely gave me the experience as far as the big lights and all the pressure. So for me, the mental game and just relaxing myself is a big part. That's also part of my training camp, especially the last week leading up to the fight. So whether it's a club show or if it's just or a big show, I still go through the same process. So that way the venues can change, but my method and the process, it remains the same.
Are you all in on MMA now?
Yes, my focus is MMA.
Not working on Wall Street anymore?
No. No. I'm on a sabbatical.
Is that a hard job to leave? I assume the money was probably pretty good.
The money was great, but it was something I could do, but it wasn't really my passion.
What's tougher, getting up early in the morning to do that, or getting punched in the face on a daily basis?
Getting up early in the morning to do that. Yes.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
When did you find that fighting was your passion?
I've always had an interest in it. When I was a kid, I would watch a lot of Bruce Lee videos and movies. That was my first exposure to martial arts without me even knowing what it was. I just knew that the discipline and the lifestyle was kind of something that just caught my attention. So I was finally able to start formally training after college, actually. But I think ever since I was a kid, before knowing anything about martial arts, about boxing or anything like that, I was always kind of drawn to martial arts. And so when I was finally able to get formal training, I just ran with it. It was finally I've always wanted to do it, and now that I'm able to do it, I love it.
Anyone in your life asking why are you choosing this over the lucrative career? Why are you getting punched in the face for a living instead of taking all that money on the table?
Just passion. I mean, I don't have a passion for getting punched in the face. It's more of I respect the process, and it's there's more to martial arts than just the fight. That's just one aspect of it. So I'm passionate about the lifestyle, about learning, about building character. So those are the aspects of martial arts that I'm drawn to. So that's where my passion goes. Yeah.
Is that a conversation that you've had with a lot of people, like your family?
Yes.
Sit them down and say, all right, here's what I'm doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Was that hard?
No, they're very supportive.
Can you take us through the finish, how you knew she was on her way out?
Well, I know that I connected on 2 solid punches that I knew it rocked her, and I heard her saying okay, but I don't think he noticed it. So I wanted to back off, but I couldn't because the ref didn't notice it yet. So I'm like, okay, I just have to keep going, even though I heard her saying okay. Yeah.
You think she was saying okay because of whatever went on with her leg?
I think she just wanted the punches to stop. And I wanted to stop as well, but the ref didn't see it yet. So that's when I kind of took a pause, and then I just continued going, just to solidify it.
How helpful has it been working with Caitlin been? Obviously, she's top
I love
25
Caitlin.
in the world.
I love Caitlin. It's been amazing. This fight camp, you know, I have amazing coaches, my training partners, you know, I'm incredibly grateful to them. They've really helped me out so much. So, you know, I'm just really thankful and grateful to all my amazing coaches and just an incredible team that I have.
How are you going to celebrate your first win in MMA?
It's a hard question. Yes, Guinness. I was like, do I say that here? But in my head, that's exactly what I was thinking. Guinness, yes.
How did it feel being the only female fight on the card tonight?
It felt great. I mean, you know, I didn't really think, you know, too much of that. It was just, you know, I'm another fight on the card. It feels great. I mean, yeah, it feels awesome.
How quick of a turnaround would you like?
Hawaii?
I was actually thinking of going there to watch and support my teammate fight, but then also because I have family that live out in Hawaii, and so if I go there, they would probably want me to, you know, go to all these luau's and barbecues, and I'm not going to object to that. So if I do go out there, there will be a lot of barbecues and luau's that I would be attending. Yeah.
But if Scott Coker asked you to be on that card or one of those two cards?
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk. Yeah, sure.
So how far do you want to take this MMA thing? This is your new thing. This is your new career, right? This
Yeah.
is why not?
Well, we'll see how far we can take it. I don't have all the answers right now. I'm just really, because I'm still very excited, but I still have a lot to learn. You know, but I'm very trusting of my team, and so, you know, when they say it's go time, then it's go time. So, yeah, I defer to them on almost everything.
What do you have to learn? What is your big thing you have to learn, you think?
Well, also, on top of, aside from technique, you know, like a lot of ground game, you know, because striking is my background, so there's just so many aspects to MMA that, you know, that's new to me, which includes, you know, the cage wrestling. You know, the cage is, when your back hits the cage, it's different than when your back hits the ropes. There's a little bit give on the ropes, and so it's just a different feel. So there are a lot of aspects that I still have to work on, but, you know, I'm patient, and I just respect the process. So, you know, we'll just take it one step at a time.
You're a natural strawweight, but Bellator doesn't currently have the division. Would you consider a move up to flyweight if the men pursuing a title there?
It's just really hard for me to keep the weight off, because when we go into fight camp, you know, even if I was eating a lot, we would be training so much that it would be. It's usually really hard for me to maintain 120, unless I'm not in fight camp. So I don't think anytime soon I would be fighting flyweight. I prefer strawweight.
You were scheduled to fight your opponent as an amateur. Now you fought her as a pro. Was it to feel like one really long fight camp, and what went behind making it a pro fight instead of an amateur fight?
It didn't feel like a long camp. You know, like that's just how the fight game is. You know, you're scheduled to fight someone, and then it falls through, and so it's like, okay, all right, that's fine. You know, just go back to, you know, learning, and then if the opportunity presents itself again, then, you know, then we'll go with it. So it didn't feel like a long fight camp, because I'm not like particularly like focused on any one person. I'm more focused on evolving in my game, in this sport. So it felt like, you know, any other fight.
And as a former Olympian, you're going to have a lot of hype around you. Is that something you want, something you enjoy? You have all the media here for your first fight. Do you look forward to that, and do you want the hype?
I mean, I always look forward to, you know, new experiences. This is definitely one of those. So I'm not I don't have that much experience with it yet, but I can warm up to it. You know, I'm adaptable. Like water, Bruce. He said be like water. So.
Thanks for explaining that for us.
Jennifer, you, I think, was it Micronesia you carried the flag for in Rio?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, obviously, you know, you have a history with those islands. You've got family in Hawaii. Have you looked back into your family? I mean, I want to ask you why you started fighting, but have you looked back in the family to see if there are people in the tree, the family tree, who are fighters as well?
Well, my dad has some experience in martial arts. He, you know, he practiced Taekwondo, and I asked him to show me, you know, like to teach me some techniques, and he did. But you know, with the rule was I just couldn't use it outside of the house. But being very excited, you know, and with all my cousins and my siblings, we would play fight all the time, and so, you know, I'm like, hey, I learned this new technique, used it, and then got in trouble, so he just squashed that. But he's the only person in my immediate family that's had some experience with martial arts. They're trying to develop organized sports, and they've recently become a member of AIBA, which is the International Boxing Association. So that was as of 2014, and so ever since they became a member, you know, they recruited me and asked me to, you know, to represent the country. So they're trying to grow the program, and with a focus in boxing. As far as any other martial arts, I think. I'm not in Micronesia. I'm not aware that they're trying to grow any of those programs, but I know for boxing they definitely are.
And will you work to try and, you know, having been in the Olympics, do you think kind of MMA deserves to be in the Olympics at some point as well? Would you like to see women's MMA in it first of all?
I mean, I definitely like to see all martial arts as an Olympic sport. It's, you know, there's a lot of politics and financial decisions behind these, you know, those sports before they even get approved. I know that Muay Thai is on the list as a potential Olympic sport. But yeah, I mean, you know, I'm always excited to see the skill set and the talent in martial arts, and, you know, to give them that platform to be able to showcase that skill set to the world, I think would be amazing and would be great. So yes, you know, eventually I would love to see all those martial arts showcased in the Olympics.
When you were in college, would you have imagined then that one day you'd be in the Olympics and now knocking people out, you know, at a big MMA show?
Well, when they announced when I was still in college, I wanted to get into boxing. They announced that they would be including the women's division in 2012, and so it was in 2012 was when I got really serious about the next run. But prior to the announcement, I just knew that I wanted to get started with my formal training in boxing.
And after your boxing career, what was it like stepping into the cage under these lights as a professional for the first time and getting your hand raised a couple minutes later?
It's just a surreal feeling, you know. I was just really excited, and I still am excited. But in a nutshell, it's just very surreal, and I'm just trying to soak it all in.
Bring on the Guinness then, eh?
Bring on the Guinness, yes.
Do you have a preference, MMA or boxing?
I don't have a preference because it's like comparing apples and oranges. They're not the same sport. There are aspects that transfer over, but you know, you can't really like compare the two because there are just too many variables and just different elements to each. And you know, in boxing, I know that it's, you know, you can have that purist mentality in boxing. In MMA, because you're including so many different disciplines, you can't really focus on a purist mentality, whether it's boxing, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu. There's that transition in between disciplines that you have to take into consideration. So that's kind of, you know, my stance on that. I love them both. Yeah.
Good.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Awesome.